Hey guys, it's Jim, and it's probably really dark in this video, but I want to keep it that way. um, I usually keep it pretty dark lit in a lot of my videos, just because that's where I work, that's how I live, and I feel the most magical in the dark and in the physical dark, and I currently work and live on a reversed schedule, so the night is what I experience the most. So I think that there is an element of mystery to the night and to darkness. There's something esoteric about it. So that's why I kind of like to keep it in my videos as a visual kind of thing. But anywho, that really does actually tie in very well to what I wanted to talk about today. And that's something that I've wanted to talk about since I very first started my channel just a few months ago. I'm still really new at this. And that is about some core beliefs of mine. Those core beliefs being these kind of like fundamental forces that I've come to know and that I've come to accept as true in my practice. So, I went back and looked at some old journals, as I often do, to get some information that I had written in them about said core beliefs. So, I have a system, a kind of magical system, more like a system of how I think parts of the universe exist and work. And I kind of lovingly call them the Enigma. The letter E has been ridiculously powerful for me. I've used the letter E to give names to myself under the name E. Lower self, higher self, my middle self, my female self. Lots of personifications of myself. I've given names that start with E. My middle name starts with E, like my birth name, the E in Jem, because Jem are my initials. E is just really strong for me. And, pretty much all of us as pagans have heard about Aristotle's four elements, right? So like water, earth, fire, and air. Did I name them all? Water, fire, earth, and air. Yeah. And then of course there's the fifth element that he proposed, which is like the element of spirit, the essence of all things and all those elements. The soul. So it's the soul, the spirit, akasha, chi, prana, mana. There are tons of names. Every culture has their own name for this element. We've all, independently, on our own as groups of people, come to realize this fifth element. And, of course, for some it's the 6th, 7th, 8th. They have different numberings. But we've all come to know this element. I call it ether. I just really like the word. No particular reason other than that I just, for whatever reason, really connect with the letter E. So words that usually start with the letter E, I feel extremely drawn to. And so I call it ether. And so when I was developing and kind of discovering this system of beliefs, of truths for myself about the universe, the physical universe and how it works, I called it Enigma because I think Enigma encapsulates perfectly what it is. Enigma can be a word that represents like paradoxes and like paradoxical natures and mystery and truth, puzzles. Like it's the word itself is mysterious enough to encompass a lot for me. And I think that the universe is an enigma in of itself. And the fact that we're trying to understand the universe is an enigma. So I lovingly call it the Enigma. So the Enigma is the name for my collection of personal truths about the universe. So under the Enigma, there are, like I said before, these fundamental forces of nature. And when I say fundamental forces, I mean these powers of nature, kind of like elements. We all agree that these elements exist, like fire and water and air and earth, and that they exist and that they make up creation, that they exist within our universe. Well, I believe that there are forces that are intangible that also make up this universe, and like emotions and things like that. But also specifically things that I call the mystery. So the name of my belief system is the Enigma. So let's open that up. We've opened the Enigma. And so within the Enigma, we have the mystery. The mystery is above everything, even above the ether. So, if I was going to put it on a scale for us to be able to understand, like a ladder, we have like animals, which I'm going to include us in, animals, plants, minerals, and all this stuff, like our earth as we know it, and our universe as we know it, like physical things that we can see, touch, feel, and experience. And then we have, so the physical world basically. And then we have the spiritual world. So like all the afterlives that we have names for, unless you want to assume they're all the same afterlife, we just have different names. So like Avalon, Tuna Oak, the Summerland. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on. Olympus, Heliopolis, blah, 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 blah. There's a ton. So the spiritual world. And this is where the gods exist to me. Gods, deities, entities like merfolk, fairies, spirits like the dead, human dead, just the spirit world. Okay? So we have the physical world, the spirit world. And then we have the mystery. And then running through all of it is the ether, or the spirit, or akasha, or whatever that fifth element is to you. But we're calling it ether for this video. So the ether runs through all of these realms, even through the mystery, through the gods. They have the ether in them as well, and then we have ether within us too. Everything has an ether in it. This necklace has an ether in it. This has ether in it. My hands, my bracelets have ether in it. This book over here that you can't see has ether in it. This camera has ether in it. And in that sense, I equate ether, the fifth element, with the spirit and the soul. So to me, like my spirit, my soul is just kind of a shard of ether. It's just some ether. It's some fifth element in me. That's what the soul is. Man, I'm opening up a floodgate here of topics, but let me try to funnel myself. So the mystery. Let us go back. So, physical world, spirit world, mystery, ether runs through it. Like this ethereal river. So we have the mystery. The mystery to me is everything that we want to know. Every question that you've ever had that you don't have answers to. The mystery is unknowable. It is a mystery. I think that mystery, that concept of mysteries and having mysteries is a fundamental force of nature, of the universe, of the cosmos. You can't get rid of mystery. So we will never become omniscient. I believe that. We will never know everything. We will always want to know more. So whenever we get answers to our questions, we always get new questions. We always want to know more about something. We're constantly learning our entire lives from the moment we're born till the day that we die. We're always encountering new information, having new experiences, having unique experiences, sharing experiences. We're always delving into mysteries and making them known and unmysterious. But I think that you have to have a healthy level of mystery in your life. It would be so boring if you can fathom it even, because the mystery is so fundamental. It is, you can't take it out really of this equation of life. But if you could imagine for a moment that you could, how boring would your life be if you knew everything about your partner? If you knew everything about yourself, what would be the point in spirituality? There's nothing left to discover. If you could speak every language, if you could comprehend every language, if you could comprehend and understand all religions, if you could speak to animals, if you had all of this, what would you do then? Like, what would the world look like if you had everything and knew everything? If there was no mysteries? first, I can't comprehend it. Two, if I try to comprehend it, it seems really freaking boring. Where would I go from there? What do I do now? I just experience these things for the rest of my life? Now that I have the knowledge of everything, I just go pick out what I want to experience and experience it? Or even though I already know what's to come in that experience? That seems really boring. So you have to have an element of mystery, which is where, of course, fear and anxiety and all these darker things creep in. But we also know that light and dark are inseparable from each other and from the universe and from ourselves. There will always be light and darkness. They can't exist without each other. And I think that we cannot exist without the mystery. If we had no mysteries, we would kill ourselves. Like, we would go crazy without mystery in the world. So you have the mystery, and I think that's even above the gods. I really do. I think that there are things that even deity does not know. I think that that's... Some people say that sometimes when you go to a deity for answers about something and they can't give you the answers, it's because you're not ready to receive them. I think in some instances that is true. And I think in some instances it's because that deity does not work with that kind of stuff. Or they just don't know about that kind of stuff because they don't work with it. They don't inhabit that energy. And anyway, so that's the mystery. And of course, even if we wanted to say that they are above the element of mystery, I think they would then keep things from us because they know that we need the mystery, that our small minds can't grasp anything without mystery. We have to have mystery. And I think the gods would know that. So, that kind of leads me into the next fundamental force that I believe in, which is the paradox. The paradox is, again, something that is inseparable from nature, inseparable from us, because we are nature. We're all a part of nature. Everything exists in nature. Everything. So, everything is natural. And everything is a part of the mystery and has ether in it. So the paradox is that exactly the way it sounds. It's everything that we know to be true is true, but can also be disproven. So even the things I'm telling you right now in this video are true, but they're also not true. They can all be believed or not believed by you, the individual. They can all honestly not be true for you as well. Something that could honestly be true for me might not be true for you. I'm going to give a very, very simple example. Maybe I was raised to believe that the color green, that we all accept as green, is called yellow. So to me, that's my truth. Like, let's see if I have something green to show you. Like this candle. I would say that this is green. It looks not as green on camera, actually, but it's very green here in person. So I would say that this is green. But if I was raised to call this yellow, then that's my truth. This is yellow to me. And that's not wrong. That's not wrong. I'm just calling it yellow. It's just a label, just an identifier. But paradoxically, that is true and not true, right? Because we've set forth this universal truth that this is called green, but I'm going against it by saying that this is yellow. But it doesn't matter. It's still a truth. It's still serving a function. Does that make sense? So the paradox, everything you know to be true is false and true at the same time. Things that you hold to be true change over time. Things that you know to be true may become later false for you because we grow, because we uncover more of the mystery. Because we uncover more of the mystery, things become less true and more true, and the paradox shifts. But there's always something paradoxical. There are paradoxes even within ourselves and our own behavior. I may say, again, a very simple example. I don't eat spinach. I actually love spinach, but we're using an example. I don't eat spinach. I hate spinach. But I may eat, I just forgot what they're called. Oh my goodness. falafel. But I may eat falafels that have spinach in them. So, and love them. So it's like, what the hell? I thought you didn't like spinach. Well, I don't by itself, but I like it in this falafel because I don't taste it. So, do you like the spinach or not? You don't like the spinach because you don't like it by itself, or like because you can't taste it. But you'll eat it in all of these foods, or in a social setting when other people are eating spinach. You'll eat spinach too, even if it's by itself. That's a paradoxical behavior. There are paradoxes within our personalities. We may say, I never do this. I never go to the movies alone. But then occasionally you may go to the movies alone. But you're like, oh, but that doesn't count because that was an exception. That's a paradox. You've set forth a truth, and now you're going against that truth. And that's nothing wrong with that. We are all paradoxical people. And again, how the mystery opened into fear and anxiety, the paradox can open into lying and cheating. These are just forces. These are just energies that are umbrella terms for a lot of forces, both positive and negative. So there's a paradox in everything in life. Everything is true and not true. There's this saying that nature abhors a paradox. But if you look at the universe, there are paradoxes everywhere. The universe is constantly contradicting itself in things that it creates and makes and things that it exists, even though we say this can't exist in nature, and then it does exist. And like we say that, the universe works on the Fibonacci numbers, which is 1, 1, 2, 3. But then we suddenly see something created that seems to not follow the Fibonacci numbers. We see some things that exist in nature and we can test them and know that they're true over and over and over. And then suddenly there's an exception to the rule. That's a paradox. Yeah. I'm looking at my notes again to make sure I'm not skipping over things, because I know this is really complicated and crazy. Actually, I'll just read verbatim from my journal a little bit that I wrote. Okay? Let's see. The mystery is all. Even the deities haven't completely decoded the mystery. It is unsolvable, yet completely transparent in its giving of wisdom. All gods, goddesses, and deities are higher life forms, possessing only energy-based bodies and possessing more knowledge power than us. Entities, spirits, folkloric beings, etc., vary greatly, just like animals and plants, and also, let me start over. Entities like spirits, folkloric beings, etc., so like elves, merfolk, fae, human dead, vary greatly, just like physical animals and plants. They also vary greatly, these entities, in knowledge and power, just like physical animals and plants. However, usually these entities possess more knowledge and power than physical animals and plants. All things possess the light and the dark. These are the keys to the mystery, understanding your light and dark. That's complicated. Let's see. The mystery seemingly has some form of justice or karma or checks and balances, but also seems to allow for chaos. This is the paradox. The mystery's way of governing or lack of governing. Paradox. Kind of like how we think that some people get away with things that aren't right, but we get punished for every little thing that we do that is wrong. It seems unfair. Paradoxical. Yeah, I actually summed this up a lot faster than I thought I would. Kind of proud of myself. Of course, all of this kind of ties into my beliefs that I've come to realize just in the past, 2 months since I've made this channel and have started getting feedback from other people and being able to physically compare my path to other people's. I've realized that I am very chaotic in my magic systems, how I don't follow correspondences, I don't worry about rules that are set forth for me. I create my own rules, and then I also break my own rules. Paradoxical in that way. It's very chaotic. I allow for chaos. In that sense, I am very much a chaos magician, although I don't run around describing myself as such. I think to put a label on it is to put too much structure on it, and I don't enjoy that. So that in itself is chaotic. But chaos comes from the mystery, and I think allowing for the mystery makes you healthier and happier when you just say, there's some things that I will never know, and I'm okay with it, and I want to not know. There's a healthy level of curiosity there that you must allow yourself for in the mystery in all areas of your life. We don't have to get so caught up with knowing everything. It's okay to not know things. And it's okay to not have answers to questions when people ask you. That doesn't make you stupid. That means, really, to me, that makes you more enlightened. When someone asks you a question about something, or your opinion about something, and you say, I don't really know, or I don't really have an opinion on it, that is so much more respectable to me than bullshitting an answer. I hate that. Or saying an answer that you were told to say, or a belief that you no longer believe. Express your truth, and if you have no truth, express that. Be authentic. Live in the mystery. Honor your paradox. And that's it, you guys. Namaste and Ashe. I hope you're well wherever you are.